Hey there, guys, and welcome to another episode of Backyard Gossip, where we are once again inside because it's Arizona and
it's too damn hot.
It's too hot.
Hot AF.
Watch the news. 120, 118, 117. It's too hot.
It is.
We can't film outside.
You guys know, for the first time all summer, what's today? We're in August.
Yeah.
I went swimming in my pool for the first time this summer, and let me tell you what.
Yesterday?
Last night.
Oh.
Last night, and it was actually kind of cool. It was kind of nice. Because it's been too hot to even swim.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that horrible?
Yeah.
Like
bath water.
It feels like warm bath water.
Yes.
Bath water.
Yes.
For those of y'all who aren't in Arizona, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not super refreshing, but last night it was actually kind of cool. So I swam last night and got bit up a little bit, but mosquitoes.
Yep.
But it was actually nice to swim.
Cool.
For
Awesome.
the first time this year. But that's here nor there. My name is Maisha Fair.
I'm Jeremy Rangel.
And I'm Elias Black.
And we are Backyard Gossip, and today we have some good stuff, I think.
That we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
But if this is your first time joining us, we are Backyard Gossip, also known as BYG, where we talk about anything and everything related to real estate. Why? Because it's our show and we want to.
Oh.
Let's get into it.
We're
what
going
are
to
we
get
gonna talk about
into
today?
it today.
So, what are we spilling tea about?
I want to ask Maisha what her thoughts are with interest rates right now.
Well, they kind of suck.
but do they really suck?
No, okay. So obviously, I think one of the things that consumers got used to extremely low interest rates, 3.5%, 3% stuff, and we've kind
Around
of
what time?
Oh, gosh,
Like
this
roughly?
was 2020, right? When did you guys refi? That was 21.
No, we refied it. So we bought our house in 2019 at an interest rate of 5.875,
Yes.
and that was before COVID.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and that was we bought down our rate. Rates were closer to 6 at the time.
Yeah.
And then we refied in 2021
21.
So that's when rates
at
were-
3.875.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think people got really comfortable with those lower interest rates. But like you said, we kind of teeter-tottered, we went up and down. But that's our industry, right? Rates
Right.
go up, rates go down, prices go up, and they continue to go up and up and up.
Yeah.
So we don't go down
They do.
too often.
They do.
But I think rates, I don't think it's scaring the right people. I mean, let me rephrase that. I think that interest rates are not what people thought they should or think they should be in the 3.5%. So when I first bought my first home, my interest rate was 8.5%. That was the going rate. I didn't think twice about it. That was the rate, and that's what I had to be comfortable with. I don't know when and if, and we kind of had this discussion when rates will get back to the 3.5s, even the low 2s. I mean, at one point, you know what I mean? There were people at 2.85. So I don't think that the consumer should really look at those numbers and be afraid. I think that the rates are going to be what they're going to be.
So that being said, when do you think when's a good time to buy a house?
I think the best time for someone to buy his house is when they're ready and they find the house that they want. That's the best time to buy. I think a lot of times people think that there's a time of year, like it's this time of year, it's this time of year, or it's this time, or when rates go down or whatever. But I will tell you guys, if you wait until rates go down, you're going to be competing with other people in the market, right? So now you're paying more for a home that if you bought currently now, you can get the seller to pay your closing costs. You're not stressing about competing with multiple offers. And when rates go down, we'll be back to that. And if you already own your home, you get to refi and you're not competing with anybody. But I don't think that we'll see the rates go down for a little while. And you know what I mean? A lot of people thought the market would crash because of that, but still we don't have a lot of inventory.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing you say, sorry, Jeremy. What I'm hearing you say basically is if you can afford it and you need a new home or want a new home and you can afford it, then now is the time to buy. Meaning, because if you wait for rates to go down or for the perfect storm, so to speak, if and when that happens, when the perfect storm arrives, then it turns into the toilet paper situation of COVID, meaning everybody now wants to jump in, and then all of a sudden everyone's competing for the same house or the same car, and then there's none.
Yeah, but I think right now, yes, to your point, but I think right now the cool thing is a lot of times when we get into that situation and there's multiple offers, people start to do things based on emotion. So you want to win. So they're competing for a house that had it just been sitting on the market like it could potentially be right now, you're paying more because you want to win. And I know a lot of people who are like, well, I want it. But sometimes you only want it because you feel like you can't have it, right? You feel like you can't have it.
The
So
American way.
you're willing to you're willing to get on OnlyFans and make some extra money
Right.
so that you can pay for
Show
that.
them feet. Right.
I don't know about the big thing. But you know what I'm saying? People are willing to do things that they wouldn't normally do because they're trying to win. The cool thing right now, rates are higher, but guys, we got to get comfortable with what rates are. They've been this way for a couple of years now, right? But people have an opportunity to be able to shop, to be able to look without feeling rushed or making that quick decision. Because keep in mind, when rates were down and the market was crazy, you had to make a decision sometimes in 30 minutes. And this is probably the biggest financial purchase that you'll make, and you were having to make decisions within minutes to buy a house. There was a little video that was online where I saw an agent talking about, you know what I mean? They walk in, it's 8 a.m. and there's like one offer on the table. Then 10 a.m. there's 20, and then there's 30, and then, do you know what I mean? All these offers, and the person who saw it won is now jumping over where the house was only worth 500. People were paying 50,000 over market value for a home because they felt like they had to have a home. Right now, if you're talking, is it a good time? Yes, if you can find a home that you want and it's comfortable and it's in a location that you want and the payment is comfortable, get that home. That's the right time to buy. But again, the cool thing is they have an opportunity to choose. They're not being rushed. It's kind of like you have now 10 homes that you can pick. I love this one, I like that one, love this one, and it's between these two, and let me think it over tonight. And sometimes waiting overnight still can hurt you, right? Even in this market, it can hurt you, but it's not minutes, because people had minutes to make decisions. Do you know what I mean? They were depleting their savings, they were depleting their 401ks to get into a home. And I'm not saying that wasn't worth it, because I don't feel like any real estate purchase is not worth it, regardless of what you pay. It's going to, even if you pay $10,000, $20,000 over, it's going to be worth it later. The cool thing is right now, you don't have to fight. You don't have to fight. There's more to be given. Builders are giving appliances, $20,000 towards closing costs to pay your closing costs and buy down your rate. Right now, as crazy as it may sound with that higher rate, that's temporary. At some point when rates do drop, and who knows how low they'll go, that consumer who bought the house at $500 can refinance their $500,000 home. Those of you who are waiting for rates to change, that $500,000 home, by the time rates change, may be $560,000, $570,000. So now, you've got a lower interest rate. Your house is $570,000, and my client that bought over here at $500,000, they bought at $500,000, and they're refining to that low interest rate. So you tell me, who wins? Who wins during that time? So,
and the average that a consumer in the Arizona market stay in their homes 3 to 5 years. So you're barking over the interest rate that you're concerned with, that you're only going to have for possibly 3 to 5 years. That's like another caveat that people don't even think about. Like, you're thinking you're going to stay in your home for 30 years. Y'all ain't going to stay in your home for 30 years. Who does that? Nobody.
Our parents. Our parents did.
How many times have you? So you've been in your home for a while.
Yes.
We've been in our home 4 years. We refinanced once, and I think we were only in there a year and a half when we refinanced. How many times have you refinanced?
One time. And the reason I refied, and it kind of goes back to we had a pool built with our house, or after the fact, and we paid cash for that, and I was kind of like, oh, we'll refinance to cover the cost of what we put in there, and we kind of did that. But the rate was lower too. I think our rate is 3.5 or 2.5 or somewhere around there right now. So I mean, before I would refi my house now, I would probably take out a second or something before I do that, because I don't know when those rates will ever come back, right? Do you know what I mean?
Do you find yourself not combating, that's the wrong word choice. Do you find yourself explaining more often than not that consumers are like, well, I'm going to wait because the market isn't the right time to buy? Do you find yourself having to explain this more often than not, and trying to get buyers to realize we're not going to see 2021 again, stop living in the past?
We could see 2021 again, but no one has a magic ball, right? So we don't know. Again, what I try to educate my clients on is this the right location? Is this the right home? Are you comfortable with this payment? And if all those three things check off, then it's the time for you to buy. It may not be time for the next person to buy because maybe they can't get the home that they want. But what I will tell you is that year that you've been renting somewhere, I have other clients who have been paying a higher interest rate for a year. So when they walk away from their house, if they choose to move and go somewhere, they walk away with money in their pocket. You who decided to wait a year or two, you walk away and you owe that landlord probably some money because they want their carpets cleaned and whatever the case may be. So I don't care what the rate is, right? My client who purchased a house a year ago is walking away with money. You rented for a year and you owe somebody money. Which one is the right way? So I don't give a shit what the rate is. You're going to walk away with something if you choose to buy, even if it's at a higher rate. Because keep in mind, we all know this, the rental market didn't go down. So while you're over here paying Joe Smo $2,200 for a 2-bedroom apartment, my client paid $2,200 for a 3-bedroom single family home that they get money from. So
and that you're absolutely right.
Like you decide, right?
You decide what's going to be more important. But yes, rates are not where anybody wants. I would prefer for rates to be lower, but I also know what that brings to the market. When the rates were low, our market was ridiculous. It actually pained me to see my clients pull money from 401ks to buy houses. But do I think that was the wrong decision? No, because those people can sell their house today and walk away with money. So no, it pained me to see that because right now is a good time for people to buy if all those things check off and you can refinance later. And I don't think that they're seeing that. They're listening to the news and they're saying our market's gonna crash. Guys, it's not gonna crash. It's not gonna crash the way you think it is because the rental market isn't going to allow that to happen, and people aren't taking that into consideration.
So I think simply put then, basically where we're at is rents continue, statistically rents go up, period, the end. There may be that one small percentage where they drop, but rents statistically go up. However, interest rates do this.
Yes.
And so now may be the time, if all of those things, if we check all the boxes, now may be the time, sure, the interest rate is higher than it was last year. However, you can refi when rates drop. But in the meantime, while you're having that home with the higher interest rate, and correct me if I'm wrong, that house is appraising and gaining value. Your rent isn't getting, your rent's going up, so you're making your landlord richer, but you're not gaining, you didn't save anything really from that higher interest rate.
And you haven't, and I will tell you guys, and you consumers know this already, so we don't even have to tell you this. Rents have gone up and they consistently go up. And when I started in real estate in 2008, the rental market went up. When the market crashed, rentals went up. It didn't change. Do you know what I mean? And now it's even higher because when you think about it, I'm looking at my daughter who's trying to find somewhere to rent because she can't buy right now, which we're kind of going back and forth with that. But guys, she's paying $2,200 to rent somewhere. An apartment, guys, $2,200. So, I mean, you think of it, we're not in New York, but hell, it feels like New York. Do you know what I mean? Like, because these places, $2,200.
Can I just say, and I'm not being any kind of way, but like, that's a 1-bedroom apartment for 20, doesn't, I don't even care. That's a 2-bedroom apartment. She's paying $2,200 a month. That is more than my almost 4,000 square foot home. It's more than my mortgage. I shit you not.
No, and I believe that. But you have to think now too, I know it's crazy, but with rates higher, your home, which I'm sure they're thinking in their head, if rates were higher, they wouldn't be under $2,200. And that's so true, but it's temporary. And again, every day your value is increasing. Values are increasing. It doesn't make sense to rent. And again, if all those boxes are checked, then it's probably the right time. So to answer your question, Jared, what I think about rates are going to be what they're going to be. That we can't change that. But what we can do as an agent for you is negotiate closing costs that could help relieve some of that pressure of the rate, or you know what I mean, the the hurt of that rate. We can help you buy down that rate with closing costs if we negotiate it. And now is the time that we have that ability to be able to negotiate that better than we have in the last 4 years.
Right. And just one more note, I'm just going to point out, if you're listening to the news or market stats or whatever, those numbers come out 30 to 60 days after the current date, right? So like, if you're getting stats, you're probably getting them from June or July's activity, and so is the news. So you need to really work and talk with an agent that understands the market, who's in the market, who can kind of help you navigate what's happening right now, because 30 or 60 days ago has changed from today's market. So I just want you guys to be aware of that.
If you're looking to buy or sell, now is the time, provided that you can check all the boxes, meaning you're ready for a bigger house or you're ready to downsize and you can afford the payment and all of that fun stuff. If you're checking all of those boxes, now's the time. Get off the fence. Stop trying to outpace the market, because it's never going to happen. You're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. If you can afford it and you can check the boxes, do it now. Give us a call. We can help you.
And like Leah said, we can help you here in Arizona, but if you're looking in another state, give us a call. We will vet that agent for you and get you an agent who can get you what you need in another market as well.
Catch the tea on the next BYG, and we appreciate you guys joining us today.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.